I can't believe I'm already saying this, but it's that time of the year again. Apparently, it's time to build the haunt because you all have been telling me to do that. I am literally in fear of my life if I don't release this video. Today is going to be the first installment of our haunt build videos. We're going to be doing things a little differently this year. I've transferred to a new university this year, and because of that, I am unsure on how much workload I have to do this year. And because of that, I did not want to overcommit and underprovide for you all. And I also been in the idea of wanting to take a little break because this is a lot of work. And I'm sure anyone who runs a home haunt sort of a thing like this understands that. But on a daily basis, I'm constantly trying to meet deadlines of getting things out and stuff. And I wanted to take a little bit of a break. Can you see I've been dressed for the occasion? I got the wrong shirt on, but if we just believe, it'll be okay. So anyways, my point of saying is I don't know how far along I'm going to get. I know that I'm not doing a full complete walkthrough this year. It's going to be more of a display. It just depends on how many displays I'm able to get to. The one and the most important one is obviously the cemetery, which is why we're going to be focusing on this for this video. I also have intentions of starting the farm display and the swamp, hopefully the swamp. I would like to do the hotel as well, and a little bit of a carnival, not as extensive as it was last year, but maybe just the Cirque du Spirit animatronics and make a little circular little display of those original ones. But again, we'll see how far we get. Like I said, college is a hassle, and I do not want to overcommit myself to you all. So I just want to put that out there. But I am still making a display of some sort. It's just we don't know yet how extensive it's going to be. So I am now behind the camera, and since we're only going to be doing this one cemetery theme this year, instead of the one in the back as well, I'm thinking about combining the best of both worlds here. And I'm going to be adding all the tombstones up front, and I really want this whole front area to be just total eye candy and totally cluttered, but cluttered in a way where it's really pleasing and there's just so much to look at. I don't want over clutteredness, but I want it to look like the cemetery has been here for hundreds of years and is really decaying, and there's many graves stacked on top of one another, and just a really vintage styled of Halloween cemetery. So just the other day, I did go out and purchase some of these new Home Depot tombstones. I like this one because I thought we could do some clever lighting with this one that's lost its head in the old ancient statue. And I also picked up this one, which is a fairly larger one, but it's still pretty cool looking. It's like a two lovers till death do us part sort of a thing. This one's pretty cool too. It's got some good weight to it. But those are the two new ones. And I also picked up one of the Spirit Halloween rockers. Now, unfortunately, this thing only runs on battery, so I'm going to have to convert it to be a plug-in. I don't know if I'm going to incorporate it to my 12-volt system that I made last year, or if I'm just going to make it an outlet. Right now, I'm kind of leaning towards 12-volt, the 12-volt system, even though it only runs on 3. But I should be able to accomplish that. But right now, I think I'm just going to do a general idea of where I want everything to go. And I think I'm just going to time lapse that. So let's cut to that right now. So what's going on right now is since last year and the years prior, we've had so many problems with getting the front fence all lined up nicely. We're going to do a chalk line here. So you got this one piece of rebar right here. And my dad's at the other end hammering in the other one. And we're just going to tape it off, strike a line with chalk, and hopefully that gives us a good enough guide to make sure everything is nice and straight and even with the sidewalk, and hopefully just go a lot more smoothly than it has previously. But we've got 6 pillars, and you can also see what kind of a rough draft of what's going on over here in terms of the tombstones and stuff. I'm not sure if this is going to be their final spots, obviously. I have a few ideas of things that I want to do, but we'll see how it goes, I guess. And you can also see how some, like the mausoleum back there looks very like tilted, and then this one's tilted as well. And I think that kind of works with it because, again, it just shows that the cemetery is very old and the ground has shifted over the years. Even with this fence, it's a little not perfect, and I think that's fine. I think that actually works really well. But I think the next step is to just stake all of these tombstones in the ground, and we can go from there. Okay, it's quite a bit later from the last shot, but I've got a good amount of things up, and you can tell already that a lot of the stuff has moved around quite a bit. That's not going to stay there. I still don't know where I'm going to put that, though, to be honest. Right now, I've only got the 2 tree bases out here. I'm thinking of adding like a third one right behind that angel one over there. We'll see. But usually, basically, all the animatronics from last year is what's going to be out here again, with the addition of I want to put Mr. Dark here. I think I said that already. Mr. Dark's going to go here. My cemetery angel from Spirit is going to go there. And you can see here are the bases for some of the other animatronics. We have Chained to the Grave, Grave Digger, and the Creepy Caretaker right there. They're going to be a lot closer. And I'm not entirely sure yet, but I do want to get the 2025 model of Gravedigger from Halloween Costumes, just because it's more durable and to protect the old one. But right now, this is just the idea of where it's going to go. Right up front, so that he points and shows you like the hollowed grounds and whatnot. And then I have some symmetry that I like going on here. So you walk in, this is basically just a photo op. That's all this is going to be this year. But you have Pop-Up Zombie's tombstone right here, and he'll be there, and he'll be on a button or something to activate and scare people if they want to come in and take a picture. The gargoyle's been moved over there. The cemetery statue, I think, is going to be right back there, but this is also might be where the tree is, so it might work out. It might actually work out pretty well. But symmetry, you have Guardian of the Grave, who operates on a fog machine, and then you have the gargoyle right here, which runs on a fog machine. So you got 2 things spitting out fog on both sides of the cemetery, which I think creates a level of symmetry for the whole display here. In addition to that, I think right here, this tree is going to be where the Reaper of Souls and Deadlift are going to be. They're going to be right in this little area. Again, very tight knitted. It's a lot more tightly knitted than it was last year, but I like that a lot. I like that, the coziness of this whole feel. And I think the Witch of Stolen Souls might just chill out right here. I like her out here because of the fact that she holds the lantern, which I think fits really well with all of the lampposts and the carriage lights like these on this mausoleum here, and the gargoyles, a lot of the flame effects. So I think she'll really be a great addition to the whole scene. That's why I didn't want to put her in the swamp. But I think the next thing I'm probably going to do is actually set up the cemetery statue, because he's going to just stay up. I'm just going to put like a tarp on him until Halloween. But I think I'm going to do that next. All right, so this is as far as I'm going to go for the night. All the tombstones are up, which is nice. I also whipped out Cemetery Angel just to get an idea of how big his wingspan is going to be, because I want him right in the front, right here. And he also has this blue light, which does a pretty good job of lighting him up. Even when his hands block his face, it still shines pretty well. The thing that I wanted to make sure is I told you Mr. Dark's going to be right here. So this place is a little dimly lit to try and hide him the best I can. And I'm hoping that I get him out here sooner than later to see how that all can get executed well or not well. The other thing that I'm concerned about is wiring everything in terms of like when it's going to get triggered and whatnot. I don't know if I'm going to have Mr. Dark on one of those beam sensors, so whenever someone walks through here, he just fires off. That could be a possible thing, but it's concerning how many people are going to be walking by and if he's going to go off a lot. So we'll see how that goes. Moving along, you can see all the tombstones are lit. It actually looks a little better on camera. The light is getting picked up on more of the tombstones, but in real life, it's really dark in this area right here, and I need to add more lights, basically. I only got four, basically, 4 lights out right now, 2 greens and 2 blues. This side is lit up for these 3 animatronics. It should look pretty good, but I think I need to have another. I'm going to have a green one and a blue one shining both inwards directly, and then maybe another green somewhere over here, green and blue, uh, because we have the Reaper of Souls and Deadlift over there, and they need to be on a green light. And then moving back here, uh, this area should be lit by all those lights eventually. And then we have the cemetery statue back here, and I'll probably put maybe the blue floodlight on him again. We'll see. I can probably tape it to try and isolate it a little bit. But I think overall it's coming together fairly well. The problem this year is that since there's so many tombstones, the light's getting blocked by a lot of them. And one solution to that is to either bring the lights up and mount them to the actual fence here so that there's a higher range of view, but that also affects the lighting of the props being underlit rather than like overlit. It makes them less intimidating, I think. Like Cemetery Angel over here has the light shining from down, so he's got a bunch of shadows in his face, which kind of makes him a little more creepy than what he would usually be if you had light shining on him like this. But he does fit well on that little pedestal. It works perfectly for him. I think that's what it's going to be. And I just like him up here. He's kind of like a center stage piece right now. And I like that for him because he is a pretty cool and underrated animatronic. And then right here is going to be where the Witch of Stolen Souls is probably going to be sitting, kind of hiding behind this pillar here. As you enter, she'll just be here. And like I said, she goes well with all the lanterns and stuff. But the last thing we got to do for lighting wise is to get the big floodlights in the tree here to shine on all these pillars and stuff, because it's all dark over here. And we got to do that. So hopefully the whole cemetery gets just a touch of a midnight purple color, just so that even where there aren't fire and ice lights, there's still some sort of lighting so that it's not just in the pitch dark. Because I do like a well-lit scene, but there's still a long way to go. And like I said, the main focus this year is just the front cemetery, and we'll see how far we get along with everything else. All right, so I've got all of the accent lighting up where I think I want it to go. I had enough cords. Let me try again. English, please. It's in a different layout from what it was last year, but I still had enough cords to make it all work, which is nice and convenient. But the moment of truth is still upon us. We have to see if everything works from last year. So I will hold the camera and back here, and we'll see if it all plugs in. Hopefully, I don't see no flames. That wouldn't be good. All right, here we go. Da, 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 da. Do we have any power? I see stuff flickering. I see some things lighting up. That's awesome. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. I think they're coming for me. I think we are on to a winner. I think everything is working. Yes. Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful. All right, so I've got more lights, fire and ice lights, and one right there, and another two right there. And I think, look at the plane though. Wow. I think what I'm going to do next is put the trees up, get the branches in. That's where they're gonna go. And I don't want to do any animatronic placing until I get those in an idea of how those are going to be positioned. So I think we're going to do that next. And then after that, probably set up some more props. I want to get the Witch of Stolen Souls and at least up. And if we are lucky, maybe the Reaper and Deadlift, if the night allows for it. I still have to do the control box for this area for these three this year. I haven't done them yet. And I still have yet to buy the Halloween costumes Gravedigger, but I want to do that as well. All right, so I'm going to be setting up the witch now. I thought it'd be a decent time to just talk about a little bit. I got to cut this. Good thing I didn't just rip the box open. So it's a week. It's been about a week since the last couple of shots have been, and you can see where like my clothes changed. And the thing of the matter is, I was talking about time issues. That's still a relevant thing right now. I want to at least get the front facade. I would love to get the circus up. I really want to do that. The farm I want as well, but I'm not entirely sure on that. And the swamp is probably the least one of the things. I think we might have a good chance of getting it all done though. But I just want to be upfront about it in the event that it doesn't. I don't like to disappoint that much. I just don't know if I want to add more light to her. So I got these two types of light. I got a black light, one of the generic ones that can like flicker and whatnot, and then a purple fire and ice light. So I'm just gonna see. Fire and ice might look good, but again, I can't really tell until it's really dark out. And the problem is this is gonna trigger her all the time. But that does look pretty cool. Again, I just have to see how dominant it gets. But yeah, she's gonna go off all the time now. And then, like I said, I've got the black light, which is a little more, might look just nicer, more appealing. I'm worried that the purple fire and ice might be a little too dominant here. So, we got that light. That might look better, honestly. Black light looks good on her, I think. Yeah, that might be the way. But I honestly don't know if I like her here or like she's facing towards the front, or would it be better if she was like facing this way when you walked in? But I kind of like her looking outwards, if I'm being honest. The only other thing is now I have to figure out how to trigger her when people walk by. The first thought is to put her on the remote, right? That's the first thought. But I have to figure something out with that to make it work, and we'll see how that goes. All right, so I just finished filming the thumbnail part, or taking pictures for the thumbnail, but I have everything lit up so you can kind of see all the details in the dark, but with also my floodlights showing you. So we have the witch right here who just won't stop talking. And in the back, I did not get to the deadlift zombie yet because I have to put his, like, I have a wooden base for him, so I have to put that together first. But the Reaper's ready to go, so I can try to get him to work for you all just because I can be. Work. There we go. So he's gonna go right there. I still have to make the trees look nice and like do all the branches, the mini branches. I also added all these little grasses from 2023's display. I took them off that little mesh that they were all zip tied to, and I use them in front of some of the tombstones and stuff to give it some detail. But let me turn off the lights here so you can kind of get a view of everything at night. Shut that off. And it looks a lot more creepier. So I think I'm going to call it right here for the end. My battery's about to die on my microphone as well. So this is as far as we're getting until the next video.